With aspirations to one day be the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, he has a passion for health and wellness and is the owner of Soul Fit Grill, an all-natural spice company. Speaking on the topic, the unexpectations of success, setting your status quo. Please welcome to the stage, Chaz Hammonds.
Hello, everybody. My name is Chaz. Thank you to the Monroe Emerging Leaders for having me here today. So today, my topic is going to be about the unexpectations of success and setting your status quo. So I feel like the best way for me to explain that topic is actually to give the Soul Fit Grill journey. Soul Fit Grill is actually a low-sodium spice company that has no GMOs, no preservatives in it, no MSG. As well as in 2017, we released our Kamado grill that's made out of ceramic, heats up to 700 degrees, great for your barbecuing, your grilling, your cooking, your roasting as well. But I actually started Soul Fit Grill with the inspiration of my great-grandmother with diabetes. I grew up in a single-parent household, raised by my mother. She's in the back. And when my mom went to work, she would take me to my great-grandmother's house every day. And I would see my great-grandmother sticking herself with these needles every morning. She would give herself shots, have shots, and be taking medication and different pills. And as a kid, I didn't really understand, why is she taking these shots every day? Why is she taking these needles? Why is she doing this? Why is she taking this medication? Then I was realizing, the rest of my family, are they taking these shots? They're taking these needles. They have these problems. They're always complaining about their health. And I got older, I realized that those problems were actually because they had diabetes was a big thing in our family. Diabetes and hypertension. Actually, my great-grandfather actually died at the age of 40, working on the roof. And it was mostly just because of our eating habits that we had become to have. So I went off to college, and I started, I always kept in the back of my mind that I want to help people, and I want to help my family. I want to change, my family dynamics. I want us to live longer, and I want to eat healthy. But I didn't really know how I could make a change for my family. So I went to college and I studied agriculture economics. And I had the opportunity to actually do a study abroad trip in Chengdu, China. And in Chengdu, China is where I realized, that my eating habits that I was doing in America were really bad. I was eating a lot of fried foods. I was eating a lot of, things that were greasy and things that wasn't really good for me. And that's where I began to realize that, over there I was eating these things that was fresh. And the part of Chengdu, China I was in was actually an agricultural city. Everything was locally grown, everything was fresh, everything was, really good and healthy. And I would take my bicycle when I was in Chengdu, China, I would ride, to the different markets and just go buy the fresh foods and fresh vegetables. After that study abroad was over at the end of 2012, I decided to, come back home, and I graduated, and I was applying for law school. So I say, well, I want to actually, just release some stress. Why don't I grow, a backyard garden at my house? The garden that I grew in my house was actually about, maybe 4 by 6. It wasn't too big, but I would grow, kale, okra, watermelon. And I just wanted to, eat healthy. I want to, continue the trend that I was doing in Chengdu, China. That backyard garden actually turned into a 6-acre garden that we now have in Houston, Texas, that now teaches kids how to eat healthy and learn about nutrition as well as become an entrepreneur. We were actually one of the new thing in Houston now is actually to build community gardens in your neighborhood. I can probably say that we're one of the top gardens in Houston right now, and we're feeding families all over Houston, Texas, and teaching kids how to eat healthy and teaching about nutrition, because we've been forced to eat McDonald's. If you guys ever been to the States, you'll see it's a McDonald's on every corner. It's fried chicken places on every corner. And I love fried chicken too, but it's just, it's not always good for you. And so, it's where I'm from. I grew up in the inner city, and we didn't have options to eat, kale or, greens. It was pretty much like you have this McDonald's or you have this fried chicken place. Take your pick. And I always thought, it just needs to be a change. So with that organic 6-acre garden, and the kids from the inner city are able to eat organic. And you guys probably know organic food is really expensive. and we're giving it away for free to them as well. And I kept in mind, I said, well, one in every like 5 people in the African American community will die from hypertension or diabetes. Almost 30% of people in the U.S. Of men, and 30% of men will die from diabetes, and 32% of women will die from diabetes. That's a pretty high rate, people. So I want to help people. I want to change that stat, but I wanted to know how. It was after I was talking to my grandmother, and I was saying, what can I do? What can I do? And she was like, well, bring me some more vegetables from the garden. My doctor said that I need to cut out the salt, I need to cut out the sodium, and I was saying, well, I can bring you some more, but you can cook with some different herbs, you can cook with some different seasonings. And she said, well, it all tastes like Italian seasoning, the healthy seasonings. There were none catered to like people of, color and people who used to eat this soul food flavor or the Caribbean or the Southern flavor out there. So I said, well, I'll go to the grocery store and I think it's something out there. So I went to the store and I went to our local grocery store and I was like, it's nothing really there. I looked and I say everything was either high in sodium or high in MSG or high in sugar. And I couldn't believe it. I say, spices have been around for thousands of years, and Southern soul food has been around for hundreds of years, and probably longer than that. And you tell me it's nothing doesn't have all the salt inside of it. It's nothing that doesn't have the MSG. It's that caters to people that grew up in African American culture, and it really wasn't that much out there. Everything was high in salt. And I was like, that's when I kind of got that idea. I say, I'm gonna make something for people like my grandmother, who still want to eat the way that she cooked and have all that flavor without having all the salt. So I said, well, now I have to actually come up with this type of product to actually do that. And which was a challenge because I wasn't in the product. I was actually applying for law school. I wasn't really expecting even to go into an industry like this. I really didn't have any experience, but I was like, well, it's really a need. I'm not doing it for the money. If I made the money, it would be great, but I'm really doing it for my grandmother and people who grew up like that and my family. And who want to eat healthy but don't have all the want to have all the salt inside of their diet. So I realized, I said, well, now I got to come up with a name. And I said I wanted to have it something with soul, because soul means it comes from the heart. Soul means it's made with love. You put your effort inside of it. Then I said, well, the fitness. I say everybody's right now is big into this big fitness and health trend. This was back in 2015, and pretty much right now everybody's really into the health even more now. But in 2015, people were working out. Everybody's a trainer. A lot of people were quitting their jobs just to become trainers and get into fitness because people want to live longer. So I said, I got to have something with fitness and health inside of this name. And I was like, well, that has to be a key thing to make people want to buy it and make it stand out. And then I said, well, what about, grilling people? I want people to know that they can grill with this instead of having to actually fry food. Let them know that they can get that same good flavor and that southern flavor without having the fry and the oils and the grease inside of it. So I said, well, really, Soul Fit Grill. I was like, it's kind of like a play on words. It sounds so simple, but it's just like, Soul Fit Grill. So I think that's a cool name, And it's, to be funny, now we're one of the top spice companies in the world, and it's kind of funny that people are saying, Soul Fit Grill now. It's like, that's something I kind of created. I think that's kind of cool. It's just like, you hear people say, are you that Soul Fit Grill guy? I'm like, yeah, that's me, And I was like, well, now I have a name. Now I have to actually have, something to actually, I have to get a bottle, and I'm not familiar with this industry. Mind you guys, I'm still trying to go to law school. That's my plan. I've been telling my mom since I was a kid I wanted to be a judge. I want to, help people. I thought, I was going to help people in the legal field, because a lot of my family grew up in the inner city. They struggle with, drugs or, being incarcerated. So I always just thought that this was going to be the way I was going to help people. And that's still a goal of mine. But I didn't realize that I could help people, in a way that's not really in the medical field, but that can prevent you sometimes from going to the doctor so much. And so I decided to come up with this product, and I said, well, I have this name. Now I got to put the blends that I grew in the garden together inside of a bottle. And I started putting these blends together, and I had this blend, so now I have the blend. Now I got to make a package. I had to actually, I'll show you guys the bottle right here. So now I have to actually design a bottle, and I don't know anything about designing a bottle. But luckily, I went to college at Texas A&M, and a lot of my friends are doing awesome things. So my best friend actually designed my website. My best friend actually designed my label as well. But it took a lot of work into it, and one of my friends is one of the top photographers in the U.S. actually took the pictures for the website. So I kind of used all my relationships that I had to build this product. And if you look on the bottle, I know it's probably hard to see right now that each part took time. It took weeks. I thought when I was gonna make this bottle, it was gonna be something that was just gonna go really fast. You got the seasoning, just put a label on there and let it go. But then I realized that you can have the best product in the world, but if you don't have the right packaging and labeling, nobody will be able to see it. So I had to spend a little bit more money and a little bit more time in actually developing this product, developing this label so people can see it. It's just a few things I said, well, I wanted people to know that it's organic and it's a healthy southern seasoning, so I had to put them on the bottle. Then I had the logo, and I said, well, my fraternity, we do a lot of things, and, with the gorillas and stuff, and I was like, well, I kind of want to, be cool, make it cool where people, young can kind of, relate to it. So I said, why not put a gorilla on there? And I was like, well, do I make them big? Do I make them kind of strong? And I said, well, I kind of want to give them some muscles, kind of like, make them fit. And then, and I said, I want people to know that it has a high flavor, but it has low sodium. And just because a lot of people think, the status quo is pretty much that everything that has flavor is pretty much high in sodium. And I want people to know that that's not true, because at Soul Fit Grill, we try to trick the tongue. We do trick the tongue into making you think that you have sodium, you have sugars and salts, but instead we actually use natural herbs that have that same flavor, but it doesn't have the salt and sugar. And just a little like lemon and limes. It has that tangy flavor, and you put it inside of a spice bottle. You mix it with some garlic and herbs, and pretty much it gives off like a salty taste instead of you having that salt. Or you use something like a sweet basil that has a natural sugar and a natural sweetness inside of it without actually using real sugar, and gives you a sweet taste. And mind you guys, I'm not a chemist. I was an agriculture major, so it's kind of I've just been given this gift. I don't honestly know how. I just keep following and keep going, but honestly, it's just been working. But then I designed it, and I said, well, I didn't know, what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna name it. And I said, I didn't know if I was gonna come out with one, if I'm gonna come out with two. And actually, this is like my third design of this bottle. It's kind of like each one has got a little bit better and a little bit more, techie and a little bit more just different. And I said, well, what am I gonna call it? I want people to know that you can actually, use this on anything. You can bake with it, you can barbecue with it, you can grill. Even if you want to fry your fish maybe once a month, not every day. Fry your fish with it, you can still do it with it. And I want it to be something that you can put on everything. And I was like, I was talking to my mom, we would brainstorm. Me, my mom, my sister would brainstorm about things and the bottle. And I was like, well, I want everybody to be able to use it. My mom said, well, you have soul, in the name, Soul Fit Grill. It has to have something with soul. And just like that, she said, soul on everything. And I say, well, I never heard that before. That just sound kind of catchy. If you say something enough, you can make it sound good anyway. So, and I say, well, soul on everything. And I want people to know that whatever they put it on, if they put it on their healthy food, they put it on their barbecue, they put it on their spicy food, it has soul in it, and it puts soul on everything. And that's why this first bottle is actually called the Soul on Everything seasoning. Yeah. So this is right here is the Soul on Everything. But I realized after I had this product, I said, well, now I'm pretty much dressed up. Now I got to go to the dance. So where I'm going to go. So I didn't know if I was going to go to, if I had to go to social media. And I realized I was already posting these blog recipes on Instagram and Facebook. And I was like, well, I guess I'll start there. So I put it out there. I was like, well, I got to go to blog. I got to blog about it. I got to go to Facebook. I got to go to Snapchat. I got to go to Instagram. I was doing Periscope. And I said, anywhere I can reach anybody, I would do it. Then I said, I got to take myself out the social media realm. I got to actually go to events. And I said, they wouldn't be put inside of a box. So I would go to your barbecue events where, your big-time grillers are at. I would go to your health fairs where, the people with diabetes and hypertension were at. I would go to the sporting goods because I knew athletes want to train hard, but they actually want to eat healthy too and keeping their bodies into shape and getting them into shape. I would go to schools and I would go to talk to kids and I would show, that this is something that their parents can cook with. I would go to the wives that can't cook and want to cook for their husband and tell them you can sprinkle this on this and your husband, he may stay. I'm just joking. But I would tell everybody this is for everybody. It's not just for, I never want to put myself inside of a box. When I made this product, I knew I made it out of love for my grandmother, but I knew that it was going to be for somebody, and I know it was really for everybody to be able to cook with, not just for your healthy people, for your people who just want to eat well. So I'm doing pretty well. 2016 first year, sales are doing really well for a person who just came up with a product. We're shipping to Canada, we're shipping to Dubai, Australia, New York, California, and I'm in Texas, and it's like, all these people buying my stuff, and they don't even know me. I just really couldn't believe that people are really buying something they don't know. But I realized that everybody wants to live longer and want to live longer, and they want to eat healthy. And so I was like, I can't believe they buying my products. But thank you for clapping. So we just decided, I said, well, everybody's saying, well, in Houston, I got all these emails and Instagram DMs. Y'all may know about it. People sending you DMs. And he's like, well, where can we get your stuff? I'm in Houston. Yeah, I know you're in Houston. And I was like, I can't be meeting all these people. If they want to buy my stuff, somebody may come out to get me. So I was like, what if I put them in retail stores? And somebody's like, you need to be in retail. You need to be in this store called HEB. You need to be in this local store. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Well, my sales doing really well, but I guess this would prevent, people from sending me messages saying, we want to meet you. Can you come? Can we meet you at the store? Can we come by from? We really want it, but can we come get it? And I said, well, I'll do something different. I'll go inside of your health and nutrition stores, and I'll leave the grocery store out of it. I'll go inside of your nutrition and supplement stores because I know that's where the athletes are. I know that's where the bodybuilders are. I know that's where the people come in and get their vitamins. And I say, I think that's going to be the newest thing. So I know the store is going to be up for it. And then I went to one store and I said, well, hi, my name is Chaz. I'm the owner of SoFit Grill. I have, a lot of followers on Instagram. I'm, social media. I'm selling out all over the world. I know this is going to do well. And, I thought he was going to say, oh, yeah, this is going to be good. Let's put it in inside the store. He was like, oh, no, we're not interested right now. And I was like, I couldn't believe that. I was like, I got this, but so I was like, well, let me go to another store. So I said, well, can I get the store owner's email? And he gave me the email, and I said, well, I'll email him. I said, hey, my name is Chaz. This is the newest thing that's going to be in the fitness world. People are going to want healthy spices about their proteins and their shakers and their supplements. I emailed the guy once. He never replied back. Wait another week. The guy never replied back. Third week, I emailed him. Never replied back. So the fourth time, I said, I'm not going to give up. So I called the store back in. I said, hey, maybe something wrong with this card. Maybe the email is mixed up with words or something. And they said, oh, yeah, this is the email right here. Just try it again. So I emailed it again. I still didn't get a reply back. But I didn't give up. I knew that, I had to keep pushing. So I went to another store. And, that store said no. So then I say, well, wow, man, everybody's saying no. Maybe I need to stick to online business. And then I said, well, let me just try one more time. I was talking to my neighbor. She said, hey, go try this nutrition store that's right here down the street from us. The guy didn't know me. He didn't really know my neighbors, but they was like, just go try it. So I went and tried and talked to him. I said, hey, I have, a large following online. All the athletes are buying my stuff. All the biggest bodybuilders and body competitors on Instagram are buying my stuff. They all promoting it. They're all doing it pretty much for free just because they want to help people out and they want people to know that they can eat healthy, but they can still have this flavor. And, I told him, and he tried. He said, well, give me a few cases. I'll buy them from you. And that was actually my first store that I got inside of. The next week, he called me back. He said, hey, Chaz, man, I need more of this stuff. It's selling out so fast. I was like, man, I can't believe that it's actually doing so well and it's doing great. And I really am just here today to let y'all know that, I started this project, in 2015, really out of love and faith, just trying to help people in my family. I had no idea that today, that this product would be all over the world, that I would, be here speaking at a conference like this, just telling how I started and, that I didn't give up. I didn't really have the experience to be in this category, but, I knew I had the love and I want to help people, and I want to help people grow. And I knew that if I keep pushing and if I have the right mind, if I keep getting out to the right people and I build the right relationships, that I can keep going and whatever I want to do. And I've helped so many people just say, they have this idea, they want to start a natural hair products. A lot of people come talk to me and say, hey, you just got to keep doing it and don't give up. Every day is not good for my company, but, I have good weeks. Some days you may have a slow day, some days you may have a slow week, but, I may have a great month that balances it all out. But I don't keep giving up because I didn't start this for the money. This was starting for the passion of my grandmother with diabetes and people to help my family. So it's just like I tell people, if you have this idea in your mind, if you want to be successful, some things are going to come in your way that that's going to try to stop you. But you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing it because, you're only your biggest, hurt to yourself pretty much. You can only hurt yourself if you don't stop. If you don't finish and start what you're doing. So I just want to come and say, just keep pushing it, guys, and thank y'all for having me today. Hopefully my story helps y'all. So you don't really need experience to do the job. You just got to know the right people. You got to keep pushing it, and you got to keep going. Thank you for having me.